I do not think the regime will survive this. I'm Matt Osborne, and this is a video by Polemology.net. In the last 48 hours, events in Iran have reached a tipping point. A battle broke out at the Grand Bazaar in Tehran, with security forces firing shotguns and tear gas. They were unable to establish control of the Grand Bazaar, however. Stores remained shut, and resistance actions and demonstrations spread throughout Tehran after the brief battle. The outcome is hardly surprising. The Grand Bazaar is the world's oldest and still among the biggest indoor retail centers on Earth. It is the capital city of the ancient Persian institution known as the Bazaar, the urban retail business community that has always been the center of gravity in Persian politics. The last time I saw security forces in Iran enter the Grand Bazaar and get thrown right back out was 1979. This feels like an epoch coming to an end, because I have felt that before. I am old enough to recall watching the news from Tehran, the flight of the Shah, the return of Khomeini, and the bad times it meant for people living under religious tyranny. The Bazaar supported the revolution in 1979, and their support of Khomeini and the clerical regime has been key to domestic support for the Islamic Republic ever since. In fact, the Bazaar was instrumental in making Shia Islam the state religion in the first place. Now they are chanting foul language about the supreme leader and calling for the return of the Shah in the open. This is a quite sudden reversal. There was no sign of incipient support among the population for a return of the monarchy until the rial suddenly plummeted in value, a direct threat to the existence of the Bazaar. And just like 1979, the regime has targeted hospitals as well, this one in Ilam, to snatch up wounded resistance fighters. These tactics are in fact a display of weakness, and the mob in the street can sense the weakness of the regime. Once again, the Grand Bazaar seems to be the epicenter of revolutionary events in Tehran. It is very new to hear Iranians openly call for the death of the supreme leader and curse his name. The Grand Bazaar is a rabbit warren in which protesters can hide, rest, eat, plan demonstrations. Rather than deter future resistance, the incursion by state security redoubled the resistance of the Bazaris. Following a victory demonstration at the gates of the Grand Bazaar, crowds turned out all over the capital as well as the country at large. The resolve of the country's primary domestic business network has redoubled, and the regime seems to lose more control every day. There are reports that the supreme leader has contingency plans to leave from Moscow so he can go hang out with Bashar al-Assad in exile. And short of unleashing the IRGC on the population with indiscriminate tactics, effectively turning the cities of Iran into the cities of Syria, there seems to be little the supreme leader could do to stop the momentum of the uprising. I do not have a crystal ball to know what will happen now. I can only say that this feels like the end of the road for the Islamic Republic, whether through capitulation or bloody oppression. In at least one city near the Iraqi border, residents have seized control and openly fly the lion flag of the Shah, potentially opening an overland corridor for anti-regime forces to enter the country. The regime must intervene or fall. The clerics can no longer make a credible claim of popular support. The only questions left are how bloody and how long the transition to a new Iran will be. I'm Matt Osborne, and this is Polemology.net.